In section 9.5, we're going to use something called the quadratic formula. You are going to become very familiar with the quadratic formula. The nice thing about this is that it can be used to solve all problems that have an x squared term. Okay, so the easy ones, the hard ones. This chapter 9, we're going to use all sorts of different types of quadratic equations, but every single one of them, you can use this quadratic formula. And yes, you must memorize this formula. The formula is x equals negative b plus or minus big ol' square root b squared minus 4ac all over, notice this fraction bar goes all the way across, 2a. And what are a, b, and c? A, b, and c are the numbers that you pull right out of your equation. But notice your equation has to equal 0. Okay? So, let's scroll down a little bit. So pause that if you need to. Okay, so let's try an example. First thing we need to do is make sure our equation equals to 0, which this does not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 3x to both sides. And you want to write it in the correct order. It should go in order of the powers. The highest power should go first. So x squared came first. Then should come, sorry, that's a 2. That's bad. That's better. Then should come my plus 3x. And then comes minus 10 equals 0. Okay, so now we're going to label what our a, b, and c are. And a is the number that's in front of x squared, which if there's nothing there, it's a 1. So a is 1. B is your number in front of x, which is positive 3. And c is your number that does not have an x term, and that's negative 10. These are the numbers that we're putting into our quadratic formula. You're not putting x or any variables anywhere in the formula, well, except for the x equals. So I'm just going to write the formula over here. Negative b plus minus big square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So now that I know what a, b, and c are, I'm just going to plug all those numbers in. So negative b was positive 3, so negative b would be negative 3. If b is already a negative number, let's say b was a negative 2, then negative b would be negative negative 2, and it would turn into a positive. Okay, so just be careful with that. So negative b plus minus big square root b squared, 3 squared. Now I use parentheses for that number because in case it's a negative number, you have to remember that it's going to turn into a positive when you square it. Minus 4 times a was 1 times c is negative 10. All over, not just the square root over, all the way over. 2 times a, which is 1. So now I'm just going to do a whole lot of order of operations and simplify this. Notice I don't have any letters anywhere in here. It's just all numbers. So, negative 3 plus or minus, you got to simplify under the square root first. 3 squared is 9. Negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. Negative 4 times 1 is negative 4 times negative 10 is positive 40 all over 2 times 1 is 2. So I have negative 3 plus or minus 9 plus 40 is 49 all over 2. And the square root of 49 is 7 all over 2. Notice the plus or minus on the square root is already built in. So now what you need to do, let's pause the video for a second because I'm going to have to scroll down and all this writing is going to go away. Okay, so we just had x equals negative 3 plus or minus 7 all over 2. We're going to break this up into two problems. We're going to do negative 3 plus 7 over 2, and we're going to do negative 3 minus 7 over 2. Okay, so now in the first one, negative 3 plus 7, you want to simplify the top. That's positive 4 over 2, which is 2. So that's one answer. Negative 3 minus... Okay, negative 3 minus 7 is negative 10 over 2, which is negative 5. So 2 and negative 5 are your two answers. Okay, so that's a quadratic formula. There should be no letters in your problem.